Hi, this is M2 Nova. I just wanted to share the first ever Pokemon TCG deck I made and what I came up with after playing around 2 months of the TCG. The deck you see on screen right now is based off of Jensen's 5th place deck at the Stuttgart Regional. See on screen, this was made during the Surging Sparks format where Radiant Alakazam and Lost Vacuum were still legal, but those cards are no longer legal. So I had taken the idea of this deck and then applied it to the post-rotation format. What I ended up deciding upon was 4 Droopy, 4 Dracloak, and then 2 Dragapult. And then I ran 4 Iron Thorns, mostly for consistency's sake of just being able to have it in the active turn 1. And then I have a Toedscruel and a Toedscruel for the Slime Mold Colony ability to shut down Night Stretcher and any way to get stuff out of the discard that goes directly into your hand. Stuff like Super Rods still work, but it's not directly in their hand, they still would have to search for it, which means more cards they have to burn. I have Hawlucha as a replacement for Radiant Alakazam, as it still is able to put 2 damage counters on. It's able to help me fix math with 70 HP Pokemon. And then I have a Pheasantipede to help me with draw power. The supporters I run is 4 Arven, 4 Crispin, 2 Boss's Orders, 2 Iono, 1 Tour Scenario, and then 1 Briar. I feel the 4 Arven helps me with my consistency in turn 1, getting Precious Trolley, TM Evo, so I have 2 Dracloaks on turn 2. Crispin is helping me to accelerate energy for a turn 2 Iron Thorns attack, or just a instant turn 1 attack with Dragapult. Boss's Orders is Boss's Orders, helps me gust Pokemon forward, lets me just do damage. Iono, extra card draw and hand disruption mid and late game. Professor Toro is very good at helping me get Iron Thorns out of the active, along with healing off Dragapult. Or even if I get Toedscruel stuck in the active, but I have other ways to get Toedscruel out of the active, which I'll talk about later. And then I have Briar. I don't see many Dragapult decks running Briar, but I quite like it. Because I already get multi-prize turns with Phantom Dive. I can get 2-3 prize turns, and then with Briar that can turn up to 4 to 5. And I'm already playing from the backs, from behind, so I find that card very important to my Dragapult play. My items consist of 3 Pokegear 3.0s, 2 Counter Catchers, 2 Night Stretchers, 2 Ultra Balls, a Buddy Buddy Poffin, a Earthen Vessel, a Nest Ball, a Terra Orb, and then for my Ace Spec of choice, I have a Precious Trolley. The Pokegear is my replacement to the 4 Seal Stone to help me draw my supporters, especially early in the game, but it also helps me mid to late game if I need a extra boss. If I need to find an Arven or a Crispin to help charge up my attacks, I have those. 2 Counter Catchers, I have them in here just so, in case one of my bosses are prized, I'm able to just be able to gust multiple Pokemon forward. And I decided to combos very well when I have to use Briar for one of my turns. 2 Night Stretcher mostly is there because I'm running 2 Dragapult. Most Dragapult decks are running 3 Dragapults, but I found I only needed 2 Dragapults to attack, and if one would happen to be prized, I now have that Night Stretcher to grab it. 2 Ultra Ball just help me search for Hawlucha, Pheasantipede, Toedscruel, whatever Pokemon I may need. Buddy Buddy Poffin is a backup in case my Precious Trolley is prized. Earthen Vessel, I can just grab energy by using Arven along with one of my tools. Nest Ball is just help me get Pheasantipede out after I get knocked out. Along with just if I need a Toedscruel. A bad thing about it is if I Nest Ball for Hawlucha, I cannot use Flying Entry, so I have to Ultra Ball or play Hawlucha out of my hand to activate its ability. Precious Trolley is just something I found was the most effective when just setting up. I would just Arven turn 1, Precious Trolley, TM Evo, Touch Energy, Trolley out, 3 Droopy and a Toedscruel, TM Evo, and now I have Dracloaks and maybe a Toedscruel depending on the matchup by turn 2. And that is incredibly strong, and I love having that ability. Terra Orb is just in case, it's just to help me find a Dragapult without discarding two cards. Simple as that. TM Evolution is a card I find very key to this deck. I'm very happy with how it's been playing. I do want to add, I'll add further on that I have added one rare candy to this deck, but I will get onto that later. Future Booster helps me get Iron Thorns out of the active because of its 4 retreat cost, and it also does 20 more damage. So Iron Thorns now swinging for 160 rather than 140. And then Rescue Boards just to help me get anything out of the active for 1 less energy. And then I got 4 Psychic, 4 Fire, and 2 Lightning energy. As I alluded to earlier, the current upgrades I'm working on is adding a rare candy, which I have replaced Pheasantipity, mostly because I want people to deal with Iron Thorns and Dragapult. And people just bossing my Pheasantipity forward to kill it is partially on my fault for just playing bad, but also it already has the anti-synergy with the Iron Thorns. So my current version of this deck does have Pheasantipity dropped, but it still is a very powerful card. I highly recommend. I have also been experimenting with running Iron Bundle, Defiance Band, Artisan. I even experimented with Mela for a bit, but I've decided on that Rare Candy is the way to go, because I can just play Droopy past last turn, Rare Candy up at Dragapult, Crispin, and now I'm just going in. I might look into getting an EXP share on in this deck as well, because that's something other Dragapult decks have been looking into. But I'm just gonna go by vibes. None of the other cards I really feel I need to remove. As I said, since I removed Fez, I might remove Nest Ball now. I'm not sure what I would replace for it. Maybe another Rare Candy. The 2 Rare Candy might be worth it. Not sure. Or I'll add something else. As I said, might just be the EXP share to replace in that. But we'll see. I'm real proud of how this deck has turned out. As I said, it's not fully original. It's based off a top 5 deck, but what I have cooked up right now is I'm very proud of. I have certain cards in here that I feel are underutilized and just deserve to be played more. Like, I think Iron Thorns is a pretty good card, which is pretty good right now. I love Briar with combination of Dragapult just being able to sweep up a lot of turns. It's just not a lot of turns, a lot of prize cards in one turn. It's just, it feels great. Yeah, the main strategy of this deck is just get Iron Thorns in the active, get all of your Pokemon on the bench turn 1, Team Evo energy, get Tutor Cloak, draw a bunch of stuff, and then by turn 2 you either swing with Iron Thorns or you're swinging it with a Dragapult. Simple as that. Sometimes you even need just to like draw 2, or you just need to do Arven for your first 2 turns, which that allows you to get the TM Evolution, Future Booster Capsule, and then you're just off to the races of just pounding people with Dragapult. But yeah, thanks for listening to me yap about my current favorite deck. Well, my only deck I've built in person. I am looking into building a second deck, but I'm not too sure on what that will be. But if I do make a deck that I'm as proud of with this deck, I will definitely make another video on it. So, like and subscribe for that when it comes up.